monkeys out there, I invite you to spend some time with me. I'm Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show. Yeah, hello. Yep. This is Johnny. Yeah. Really? Wow. Burning stuff down? Protesting? Looting? Are you kidding? Really? No kidding? Wow. Wait a minute. What year is this? 1968. No, this can't be 1968. This has got to be 2020. This is 2020. Yeah, this is the year 2020, not 1968. Now, wait a minute, I got an old phone. Did I go back in time or something? They're doing what? All over? Why? Wow. Really? That's crazy. And this is happening here? In the United States of America? Are you kidding? Are you sure it's not 1968? Did I go back in time? Time warp. Oh, it's 2020. Wow, kind of like the Twilight Zone. Let me get off this phone. Hey, and the show does start now. I am Johnny Allen. This is the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Welcome to Friday Eve. It's Thursday. It's June the 8th? June the 4th. I'll get it together. June the 4th, 2020. Well, I just woke up from I don't know, I just had a bad dream or something. I felt like I was in 1968. And there was rioting and protesting going on, and fires and looting and vandalism. Now, wait a minute. That's happening now, 2020. You know, I always talk about this. I talk about how things can change in an instant. Boy, has things changed since last week. Quite a bit. Well, you guys know what's going on out there. I'm not going to discuss it too much because, for one, it's not a political show, rather. If it was a political show, boy, it'd be 5 hours. Well, I'm Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show. Like I said, you can find me on YouTube and Facebook under the same, and I talk about everyday life situations. And we're having an everyday life situation happening now, right? Anyway, before I go any further, I would like to, first of all, say I drink coffee on the show. And today's coffee mug is New York City, which was... they had their disasters throughout history, and they're having it now, unfortunately, and I feel sorry for the folks. Also, in New York City, what's happening to that wonderful city out there right now. It's a dire shame of what's happening. They had a lot of problems, but here's to New York. Hopefully you guys will recover. You will. They're strong out there in New York. They'll recover, and they'll get through this. We'll have a drink of coffee to the New Yorkers and everybody else that's having some problems in the world. Like I said, we'll discuss it a little bit today, but not in detail. A little bit. I'll have my thoughts. Anyway, let's drink to prosperity, peace, and harmony on the earth, which we don't have a lot of that right now happening. Also, I know my friend Connie says, you know what, John, why are you advertising? I don't really advertise. I don't have a lot of advertisers, right? Or advertising. I don't get paid to advertise product on this show. I don't have any sponsors really on this show. But I will endorse this. And it's because Connie, and I like Connie a lot. She's a great participant of this podcast, and I do have a lot of respect for Connie. But all I gotta say is I gotta promote this, and this is Diesel Coffee. And my good buddy Tim out there in Lansing, Michigan has this coffee. www.shopdieselcoffee.com. This is what I got today, the Diva Blend. And I'm trying these different brands of coffee from Diesel, and I really do I've liked all of them so far. And if you like coffee, go up there and get Tim's coffee. www.shopdieselcoffee.com. Go get it. If I feel like I'm in a little somber tone today, because I am, because of what's going on. You know, first of all, we have the COVID-19, the COVID. And, you know, it's a pandemic, worldwide pandemic, right? It's caused a lot of problems with human society, the economy, and everything. And now we have, I call it pandemic number 2. When I say this lightly, we have this hatred pandemic. And what it is, guys, and I'll explain a little bit later. I'll talk about how I think the two go hand in hand somewhat, causes the hatred and the unrest going on in the country right now. Of course, you guys have heard the story about George Floyd. It's sad, very sad. There's no doubt about it. It's terrible. Something like that should not happen to any human being, period. Unfortunately, it happens a lot. It happens more than it should. It shouldn't happen in this country at all. Especially shouldn't happen to innocent men and women by law enforcement, the people that we pay to protect us from things that are bad. And they're committing bad things. And not everybody. Not all in law enforcement. We know that there's good in everybody. There's bad in everybody. And when I say that, I mean, you know, there's bad people everywhere. But there's a lot of good people everywhere. It doesn't matter what race you are, what gender, what nationality, any of that. There's good people, there's bad people. I have a lot of friends that are African American, a lot. And I talk this week, of course, about this whole situation. And I would say 9 out of 10 of my African American friends agree with me that there's good and bad in everywhere. And that we have to learn by these things, and we have to basically move on with our lives. We have to learn from them, though, and we have to correct them. We have to correct the situations. That's really all it is. Because when it comes right down to it, all we really want, everybody, is just is freedom, love, peace, and a good, decent life. And I can't get in detail on the show because I'm not a political show. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have all the answers of what people are feeling. I know that there's obviously a lot of hatred, a lot of anxiety, a lot of built-up frustration, obviously, because of what's going on. I don't agree with the vandalism and the looting and all that stuff and the destruction part of it. I don't think that really solves anything. And like I was making fun, it seemed like it's 1968 all over again. And here's the thing. This is 2020, right, guys? This is 2020. 2020. And the thousands of years of the human race has been recorded since the beginning of recording human history. We've always had violence, wars, people getting killed, burning down of cities and all this kind of thing for thousands of years. Now, this is 2020, so hang on to what I'm saying here, or grasp what I'm trying to say. We haven't learned anything. We haven't grown up as a society. We're still doing these things. You look at the streets and you look at what's happening. We have not matured. We have not grown as a civilization all the way around. Everybody. Like, no police officer should ever have done what this guy did to Mr. Floyd. Should never happen. In today's world, that should never happen. I felt like that we were beyond that. You know, it's 2020. We're supposed to be mature. We're supposed to help each other. People that are in poverty and that need help, we help them. The ones that are socially doing better, maybe economically doing better, are blessed. People that with good hearts and souls. Help the ones that need some help. Without it coming to this, to having to hold, you know, thousands of people with this hatred and destroying things. And on the flip side of that coin, should you destroy property that from other people that worked hard for it? And I believe not, because, you know, are you really gaining anything by saying it? Yeah, you're letting out the anger and anxiety, and you're like you're showing them, yeah, we're just taking care of this. We're pissed as hell, and we're going to tear everything up in our past, and we're going to teach them a lesson and all these things. And I can kind of understand all that in a way, but if you really look at it, it doesn't solve anything to destroy an innocent business. It had nothing to do with what happened or what was happening or what is happening in the society. Okay. Like for example, a gal that owns a cupcake store in Cleveland. She has nothing to do with police brutality. Nothing. And if you ask her, which they interviewed her and told her, and she did say she doesn't approve of that. She wants something done about that, right? We have a lot of issues, obviously, in the society, and it's not just here in the United States, it's all over the globe. The Middle Eastern people have been fighting each other for thousands of years. Iran hates Israel. This fight's been going on for thousands of years. The Palestinians don't like Israel. They've been fighting each other, and vice versa, for thousands of years. Or at least with that situation in the 60s or the 50s, whenever, the whole, you can look up the history when they separated them and put a line. The point I'm trying to make is this, and the racism thing out there and all that. The point I'm trying to make with all this, and on the bottom line, the nutshell, whatever, at the end of the day, is that we need to grow up as human beings. This is 2020. We should be working on abolishing racism, hatred, violence, stealing, murder, wars, all that stuff. We should be ending it. All the energy and money that we use, and I've talked about this before, in creating weaponry of mass destruction to destroy human beings, all the money, the effort, and all this stuff. Wouldn't it be nice if we took all that energy that we spend on doing bad things around the world, take that energy and that we use in destroying stuff and killing people and all this stuff, and flip it around and make it a positive thing. Boy, the world would be such a great place. And there is a lot of people that are trying to do that, but there's a lot of people that are frustrated and not so good people that are doing bad things. And it's not just one group. It's a lot of different people. Like I said, the thing is about hatred and bigotry and racism and all this stuff and jealousy and all these things that are bad, that aren't good. It's guilty. It's guilty in every race. Every race has partially that. And, like I said, I think it's something that needs to end. Now, will it end in my lifetime? I don't know. Probably not. It's been going on forever. I wish I had the answer. I could get deeper and deeper into this, but it's just a simple podcast, and I won't get deeper in that. It's just a dang shame that we can't work together a little bit better on this stuff. And it's a shame that you have a few bad apples that will start the ignition to fuel hatred and the stuff that's been going on. And peaceful protests are great. There's no problem. I have no problem with that. It needs to be done. Things need to be in check once in a while. People need to be aware of what's going on when things are not so good and bad. When you're putting down a fellow human being. Really, I look at race. I look at human beings as human beings. To me, there's no color barrier. I have friends that are black. I have friends that are Asian. I have Indian friends. I have Muslim friends. I have friends from Egypt. You get my point. We're all human beings, and like I said, in the end of the day, we just want simple stuff. We want to be able, to have enough money to have a nice roof over our head. It doesn't have to be a mansion or not. Just a good, modest home. Doesn't matter what it is, if it's an apartment or something like that. And enjoy life, have nice things. I think what happens is just nice things. And when I say nice things, I mean just being able to spend quality time with family, cooking out on the grill, doing peaceful things. I think we've gotten lost in society where everybody wants more and more and more. And like I said, I'm not talking about one particular race or people. It's everybody. They want more, 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 more. And some of these folks, with what's going on now, I think some of them just want to be on television because they want a chance to shine in the spotlight. That's really not what we're here for, people. I mean, anybody listen to my little podcast today? Let's try to get along. Wouldn't it be nice if instead of destroying property and killing people and stuff like that, that we just got together and fixed things up? Could you imagine the energy of everybody getting together and saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's fix up some buildings. Let's help start a little business. Let's do this. Let's help poor old people that can't get around. Let's help veterans that can't get around. Let's help poor black folks, poor white folks, poor anybody, right? Let's just help these people." To me, the reason why I'm bringing this all up today, guys, because what's happening is a shame. It's just a shame, period. The killing of innocent George Floyd should have never happened. That should have never happened. How we fix it, I don't know. I think destroying cities and towns is not going to fix it. It's going to bring attention, which is, I know that's what their purpose is, people that are doing this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't do anything. It makes things worse. The innocent people that don't have anything to do with that, they're probably on your side. You destroyed their business. And I saw a story of an elderly black couple, that African-American couple that had a business in Atlanta, trying to start it up, got destroyed by vandals. And he says, I may not be able to get it going again, And it's funny, people say, some people that are for it say, well, they got insurance and stuff and they'll pay for it. I think, it needs to go on because the violence and the looting, because the lesson needs to be taught. Well, I disagree with that because not everybody does have insurance. And what are you doing destroying something? What does that prove? Even in war, what's it prove to destroy somebody else? It's just food for thought. I think we should live our lives simply. Now, I talk about the two pandemics, and what I talk about, it's really the one pandemic, the COVID-19. Does that have, I read an interesting article, could that have helped escalated this situation that we're in now? Besides the tragic murder that happened, of course, that triggered it, but also in concert with a lot of the younger people stuck at home, no jobs, the virus, right, keeping them down and they're cooped up for months. Could that have built more anger and frustration just to fuel this fire more? It's a question. Comment below. What do you think? This article I read, this guy pointed it out, and I thought it was a good thing to point out. I do think they kind of go in concert together. If everybody was working and prospered and everything, it's not that they would have ignored it. They wouldn't have ignored it, but it may have eased it a little bit. But wrong is wrong. Two rights don't make a wrong. A right, rather. Two wrongs don't make a right, rather. So, I wish I had the answers. I just think that everybody needs to take a chill for a little bit. Don't let your emotions override your reasoning. My dad said that is true. Don't let emotions override your reasoning. I think that, of course, you're angry as hell. I mean, I was angry about it. I watched it. I was angry about it. I thought this is disgusting. This is terrible. It makes cops look bad. It makes Caucasian cops especially look bad, like they're out to, do bad things to other races and other people, especially black men or whatever. I get that. That's just really bad. And it angers me that happened. But don't let our emotions override our reasoning. So we go around and destroy our cities because, they are our cities. Everybody's, every race. We live in these cities, and, we enjoy these cities. It's just a shame. It's a shame all the way around. I had another little drink of coffee. Remember dieselcoffee.com? I know it's kind of a somber podcast, but it's been a somber week. Actually, personally, I had a nice weekend. I didn't even know what was going on. I was out of town. I came home, flipped on the news, and thought, wow. Whoa. This is crazy. Anyway, at the end of the day, like I said, everybody I think kind of wants the same thing, and I think that we should want the same thing. And I think everybody wants happiness, and I think they want happiness. And I'll repeat again, I think they want happiness. And if they don't have happiness in their lives, try to get it. I mean, you had obviously an angry cop, a cop that was angry, mean, vicious act to an innocent guy. That should never happen. You know, these protests, and I say protests, not the peaceful protesters, mind, the looting, the vandalism, and that stuff, the unnecessary killings and wrecking of property. That's hatred and it's violence. There's really just no need for any of this stuff. Anyway, I think at the end of the day, people want happiness. If you can't find it, let's find it. Let's find it. I think we'll change the world, folks, if we can just come to one ideal, and that is to bring happiness to people. You may not have a lot of stuff. We don't really need a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm not rich by no means. We don't need a lot of stuff. There's opportunities out here for everybody to have a little something, enough to make them happy, to be happy, okay? And if it's not happening, then we work together as human beings in society to change it, to make it right. With education, things of that nature. And I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about law enforcement just everybody. We need to be educated on how to take care of each other. Let's just take care of each other. You know, you look at all the energy, like I said, with doing the bad stuff. You know, just think if we teamed up together, like they're teaming up together to destroy stuff, if we teamed up together to try to fix stuff, that's a powerful statement too, right? Think about that. If we came together to fix stuff, like I said, don't let your emotions override your reasoning, guys. Sit back and think about it. I understand getting mad. I understand the frustration. I do. Believe me, I do. You know, I mean, it's sad. But we can fix. I believe that we still have hope as a human society, that we can fix the bigotry, the racism, the double standards, and even something as simple as, you know, friends mocking friends and making fun of people and stuff like that. Should we really do that in 2020? Should we really? I mean, they talk about, you know, PC and everything, but that's not, you know, the same people that are preaching about PC, what they're doing is so opposite of PC. It's not politically correct. You know, I mean, think about that. I mean, I talk about everyday life situation. I'm just a simple guy. I have no biases. I'm not racist at all. I love people. And it just saddens me when we can't get along and things happen and these things happen. And, you know, it just doesn't make sense. Comment below if you guys want to chime in on anything I'm talking about today. I really do think that with the COVID-19, you know, it has contributed a little bit to this because people, like I said, you know, worried about the future, feel like they're lost, hopeless, nothing right's going to happen in their world, and what the hell, we're just going to tear shit up. You know, I kind of get it, but what happens is you got innocent lives, and I'm talking about, you know, you guys want to talk about the race thing or whatever. Innocent black guys getting killed by black guys. Doesn't make sense. And the same thing with white guys. They're white guys, white women, black women. They're all doing it. They're all destroying stuff. And no, there's no respect for anything. And that's what's sad. Because we work really hard to try to make this perfect society, which is not perfect and it's never going to be perfect, guys. But let's keep trying to make it perfect. So let's move forward. There's going to be, you know, there's going to be a spoke in the wheel. It's going to stop it, like this bad cop that did this awful act. You're going to have these things happen. Let's correct it. Let's fix it. But we need to keep rolling forward without going backwards. Like I said, I did example 1968. Half these kids weren't even born, weren't even close to being born then. I'm just asking people to refocus their thoughts on things. Just refocus. Keep an open mind, refocus. Don't just say, so-and-so, these people are doing this, and they're all bad. these people are all bad, and these people are all bad. That's not true. It's not true. It's just not. Look around you, what I mean? But it's a tough subject, and like I said, I don't talk about political stuff. This is somewhat a little political. But actually, it has to do with the land that we live. We all share this land. We all share this earth. We all share it. Let's keep it nice. Let's keep it nice, for our future generations. What's our kids and your kids? If you say you are looting, say you are one of those guys looting and vandalizing. What example are you showing your kids? You want your kids to do that? Maybe you think it's okay. I don't know. I don't really. I think there's other ways to solve problems, really, without tearing up stuff. You may want a job at that place someday. I don't know. I just hope that, my whole thing about this is let's stop the violence all the way around. That's my last talk, number 10. Let's stop the violence all the way around. From the leadership all the way down to the normal people like you and I. If we have the youth that is struggling, let's fix it. Let's fix it. We'll figure out how to fix it. Because it's not all glorious to do some of these things that they're doing. It really isn't. If you look back on it, it's just the way it is. Let's hold together, guys. We're one nation. We're one people. Like I said, one nation, one people. Race doesn't have anything to do with it. We're all one nation, one people. We share this planet together. Aliens are probably looking down on us thinking, what in the world are they doing down there? They're crazy. They're just nuts. I'm not going to help them. I'm not going to do anything for them because they're immature. And we are all immature as a whole. It's 2020, and, you think these things would go away. I don't know. It's food for thought. Some of our podcast today, guys, but we'll have a better one next week. Okay, to end on a brighter note, I think, band rehearsal for me and at least Crossroads Saints, I think it's going to start back up this weekend. And, last weekend, besides what was going on, weather-wise, it was gorgeous. In Indiana today, it's real hot, 90 degrees. But, I'm not going to complain about the weather. Just want to hopefully get the world to get to be a better place. That's it. And before I leave, guys, dieselcoffee.com. If you're drinking coffee, go ahead and order that stuff, man. There you go. Tim up there in Michigan. And Connie, like I said, I got to endorse Tim because he's my buddy and he's got a good product. I won't endorse something if it's not good. I'm going to have another swig of coffee. In a couple last notes, I got about a couple minutes left, guys. I don't know if you believe in God, if you're atheist, if you're a believer, if you're not a believer, or anything like that. Personally, I believe in God. But you have to believe in something. And you have to believe in something good. And let's make the world a better place. Let's make the world positive. Let's turn this around, guys. Let's turn this around all the way around. Continue to reach out to these police officers that are, they got a high-stress job. I wouldn't want to be one. I wouldn't want to be the president, but somebody's got to do it. But we can communicate and reach out. And there's a lot of leaders on both sides that are doing that and reaching out and trying to fix the problems that we got going on. And we got a lot of problems, man. And you stop and think about it, there's been a lot of wars, a lot of people sacrificed in wars and stuff like that. And, you look at that, we could go on forever about that. That's a whole different thing. But we want to make sure that the people that have died in the past and that have dealt with it haven't died in vain. Like Martin Luther King, for instance. We want to make sure he hasn't died in vain. Personally, like I said, I love all people. I don't like the violence and the looting and that stuff. I just think that's all. It upsets me, and I don't think there's any room for that. I understand the anger and the hate that goes behind it. But I think at the end of the day, it really doesn't prove anything. Like I said, two wrongs don't make it right. I hated what the police officers have done, some of the bad ones that have, and people, like the one case of the jogger wasn't even a police officer. Anyway, the bottom line is we got to cut out all this bigotry and racism and hatred towards people. Give people a chance. We're all human beings. We're human beings. We have good qualities to us, and we just need to step up to the plate and use and concentrate our strengths on all the positive stuff to fix things that might not be so great, right? That's it. That's all I got today on my simple little podcast. You guys take care. And, you know, if you believe in the Lord and you believe in God, pray. And make a difference. Step out. Reach, you know, I tell all my coworkers, my brothers and sisters of all colors, skin tones, I always say, how you doing today? I go up to a young black man and say, just today, how are you doing today? They'll have that grim look. I'll say, how you doing today? Are you doing okay? And I really mean that. Are you doing okay? And some of them go pick up and say, yeah, I'm doing okay. Yeah, it's good. Is there anything you want to talk about? You know, I reach my hand out, you know, to help my fellow brother and sister. Like I said, it doesn't matter what race you are. We all bleed red. You know, and let's try to make this world a better place. You know, I mean, we're not always going to agree on things. We know that, right? We're not all going to agree on stuff, but that's okay. We can learn to live and cohabitate together peacefully. Anyway, man, I'm telling you what, the world, I hate to sound like John Lennon, but seriously, the world would be a much better place if we concentrate all that negative energy into positive energy. That's all it is. At the end of the day, the bottom line. Concentrate all the negative energy into positive energy. Negative energy into positive energy. Negative energy into positive energy, folks. All the way around the globe. That's it. Till next time. God willing. Nothing. Let's keep peace in the world. I'll be here. If God willing, I'll be here next week. I really do appreciate chatting with you guys for 30 minutes on simple stuff. Let's just take care of each other. And let's solve the problems in a good way, in a positive way, in a positive fashion. Like I said, extend your hand out to your neighbor. Say, hey, listen, got any problems? Let me know. Let's get together and fix these problems. That's it. Remember www.dieselcoffee.com up there, Tim. Thank you, Tim, for all the kudos on the podcast as well. Kind of a somber podcast today because, to tell you the truth, man, you see what's happening. But, you know, let's fix it. Like I said, let's fix it. Let's do the best we can to fix the problems. Anything small, like I said, even just reach out and say, how you doing today? You doing okay? Do you want to talk? And, you know, people that are having problems, lend an ear, an open mind. Close off the anger for just a second. 1 second. Close off the anger. I understand the anger, but close it for just a minute. If someone's wanting to talk to you, just kind of listen to them. Keep an open mind. Listen. That's the key to it, is communication, open communication. Not, like I said, don't let your emotions override your reasoning. That goes for everybody, right? If the cop would have kept his emotions, not let his emotions override that reasoning and that hatred, we wouldn't have had this problem. If that's it, period. I mean, that's with everything, right? I ran over 3 minutes and 29 seconds. I'll see you guys next week.